So you've got Duplicator Pro. That means you have the best tool to keep your website safe, to make backups, to never have to make your own backups ever again, to restore your website, and to move your website if you need to. But how does that all work? What do you need to know? How do you make it work? Today, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the first steps all the way from putting that first installation in place. I will leave timestamps down below, so if there's a specific thing you need to know, you can skip to that. And I'm going to help you to start getting the most out of your brand new tool, Duplicator Pro. Let's go. Okay, so the first logical thing to do is, of course, to install Duplicator now that we actually have it. So let's go ahead and click on plugins and add plugin just here. We're going to go ahead, click on upload plugin, and we are going to go ahead and drag and drop Duplicator just into here. This is the process for Duplicator Pro. If you are using the free version of Duplicator, you can install it from the WordPress plugins repository by just searching for Duplicator right here. But there's my Duplicator Pro zip file, and we're just going to click on install now. There we go. Once that's done, just activate plugin. Once that's done, you're going to be on the Duplicator backups page. And of course, the first thing you need to do is to create yourself a backup. There's a couple of things we're going to do, but first, let's start with a regular backup. So let's go to add new just here. And then we're going to go ahead and just click on next. There are a few different things that you can change here. We don't need to worry about any of them really, unless you want to start changing the backup name format and things like that. You can create templates. The default template is to back up your entire website, and you can start to change what you back up, such as database only, media only, things like that. We're going to focus on full site backups, so we're not going to worry about it. We're going to leave it as it is and just go next. This is going to scan your website to make sure everything is okay in order for the backup to happen. Just takes a few seconds, 0.019 seconds apparently for the actual scan to be completed. And then here we have everything listed as good, which is exactly what we want. Then we're going to go ahead and just click on Create Backup. The Create Backup is going to jump in just like this, and it'll take about a minute for my particular website, but that will depend on the size of your website as to how long it takes. So just let it do its thing, and once it's done, we will come back. Okay, so that is our backup complete. We have a backup just here, and we've got a few things that we can do. So the first thing, if we need to use it, we just click on Restore here, and it will restore your website to exactly the point at which you made this backup. Great to know. We can download this backup, so let's go ahead and do that. Download both files, and that means we now have a copy of that backup on our computer should we need to use it. However, we have other options as well. One to really look at is this one here, the disaster recovery option. I will go into this in a bit more detail at the end of the video, but for now we are going to set a disaster recovery point. You definitely want one of these. So click on that, let Duplicator do its thing. We'll tell you that disaster recovery is available for this backup, and set your disaster recovery point. I promise you absolutely want to do that. Once that's done, your little house on fire, as what I call the logo, will go green. This is telling you where your backup is stored. This is in local storage, and that it was a manual backup, which means we also need to talk about scheduled backups, and let's do that now. So the next thing we want to do, we know how to create a backup, is we want to go across to schedule backups just here. From here, we're going to go up to add new, and what this is going to allow us to do is to build a backup that just happens automatically. It's not going to be about you remembering to do it. You're not going to forget. You're not going to come to a point where you're like, oh, I've made an error or something's happened. I need a backup. And oh no, I've not done a backup for 6 months. The scheduled backups will do everything for you, and you can set it for whatever time suits you. So let's have a look here. I'm going to call this a daily schedule, and you will be shocked to hear that that means I'm going to create a daily backup just here every one day. Now you've got options for templates. Again, this depends on what you want to back up. I'm going to choose default because that is a full site backup. You can choose your start time. So start time, let's for example say 9 a.m. You want to pick a time where you've got traffic coming through your website, because the backup's actually going to happen when you have traffic, not the other way around, as you might expect when your website is quiet. That's all you need to do there, and we're just going to go ahead and save the schedule. I can now go back to my schedules and it will tell me what the name is, where the storage is, when it runs next, and when it next runs. So this hasn't run yet, of course, because I've just created it, but what this will do is it will just constantly provide you with a backup at the same time every single day. This is an absolute lifesaver and something that I promise you really want to do. Now back on the backups screen, going back to our disaster recovery, we can just click on it again here. It's going to give us a couple of options to download the launcher or to copy the link. Either one is fine. Let's go ahead and download the launcher. What this is going to do is it's going to give me this file just here, this HTML file. And what this means is if you keep this somewhere safe on your desktop, in your cloud, just anywhere at all, if anything should ever happen to your website where you lose everything, you can't get access to your backend, you can quite simply run this and it will give you a full restoration of exactly what is happening or what you had at this particular point in time. So that is a massive thing to make sure that you get done, along with, in my opinion, these schedule backups. However, if you have access to your backend and you just want to go back to a previous point in time, you can just click on the restore backup page just here, or the restore backup button, sorry, just here. That will restore to the date and time that this particular backup was created, and you can do this for anything. It allows you a little bit of peace of mind should anything go wrong, from design all the way through to installing or trialing new tools or plugins. You've always got the option to just go back and use a different backup, use a different page from a different time that was, well, working. So for a detailed breakdown on how we're going to use that restore option or the disaster recovery, we want to click on this video right here.